I'm going to stop here in the middle of my project and show you what's going on. These steering arms bolt to the spindle, and on the driver's side this one, and then on the passenger side on this one. Then you've got these little balls on the end, and these tie rod ends fit up on those balls, and it's that little cup and ball thing I was talking about in the last video. And then this tightens down on it, puts some pressure, and there's a spring back in here, and then that fits on there. And this is exactly typical of what I'm talking about right here. I'll show you this one if I can get it out. Now this is the tie rod here, and this is the other little link that comes down from the steering box and goes into, hooks onto this one, and then your tie rod, one end hooks here and one runs over the other side, and that's what turns it and steers it. But this is what I wanted to get at here. If you take this apart, this is just typical of what happens with these things. There's a spring, half the spring, and there you see it's broken, and that's what gets people into trouble when these springs break, and it allows the tension then to come off of that ball. And I suppose it can just drop right out. And it was pretty funny when I started taking this truck apart. One of these, this one actually is the end that goes on the steering box, I believe, and the other end onto this rod here. And it was actually held on with a piece of barbed wire, not baling wire, but I mean, it's like this old guy was driving along, he's checking the fence, and all of a sudden he dropped a tie rod end or a link in here, and he stopped and cut a piece of barbed wire and wrapped it on there because that's what he had. And I like it. I just get a kick out of that stuff. But we're going to upgrade this, and what the deal is, I'm going to make this much safer. And this is all going to be gone. And I ordered the parts today. Of course, they're back ordered, when you know, but I'll get them. These little balls on here are peened in from the bottom side. And this looks like it has chisel marks on it. I don't know how it was done in the factory when they built those, but anyway, that's peened out. So what you do is you have to grind that peen off, and then start driving this ball out. I heated it up, and that always just makes things so much easier if you heat it instead of beating it to death. And so then what you wind up with is this. And that'll come out, and that's not a tapered. I was mistaken about the tapered bolt, ball or tie rod end. It's not tapered; it's a straight bolt. And the guy made sure that when I talked to him, when I ordered it this morning. And even if it was tapered, I would bore it out and sleeve it and make it straight. But it is straight. So all I have to do is it'll bolt up when I get it. So I'll be replacing these ends, and this will have a bolt that comes off the end of the new tie rod, and it'll run all the way through this eye, and then there'll be a castle nut and a cotter key. I'm trying to say cotter pin and cotter key at the same time. I got my tongue twisted around my eye tooth and couldn't see what I was saying. Anyway, y'all get the idea. It'll be a much safer. Now, I don't know about the driver, but the front end will be okay on this thing. So just thought this is all kind of interesting, this old stuff. Thanks for watching.